In today's video, I'm going to be going over exactly what is going on in the market right now, when you should buy your teams, and also what's happened with the Rulebreakers promo so far, and where I think it could head in the future. So let's just hop straight into the video. So guys, to start today's video, we are going to be going over exactly what the market has been doing lately. So if we just look here in general, this is the last 72 hours on the FUT tracker here. These are players that I had bought for my team a while ago. You can see that they're on the negatives because of the huge market crash from last weekend, but there was also a huge one on Friday, and I'm going to show you why I think players will rebound and why some players won't. So if we look here, this is literally the Friday of the Rulebreakers promo when it drops. So you can see right beforehand, this is actually when I sold my first Timo Werner that I had in my club for 220. I sold him at around 11 a.m. NA time or Eastern time, whatever you want to consider it. I sold him at that time on the Friday, and right after that point, he literally took a nosedive all the way down to about 207. I have seen him lower at about 199 when the first market crash happened. Last weekend obviously, but you can see how far he dipped. Then he went back up a bit, then he dipped again on the Saturday because they had the server issues on the Friday. So this is when they had the server issues at this point, then this is when people started opening packs again, and that's when he dipped really far down low. That's about 11 a.m. UK right there, but it's 6 a.m. here. So if we go back up again, you see he's risen, dropped, risen, and then dropped once again late last night, and then once again he's risen just a tiny bit but dropped. And expect this to go lower because we have squad battle rewards tonight. These cards are going to be getting packed, and they might go down maybe to under 200k. So if Werner goes down to 200k, you can definitely expect him to rise back up to about 210, 220, because he's always done that. There's just been these drops because of supply. Like I said, this was the drop because of the market crash, because of Rulebreakers. People were scared, they decided to sell. Here is literally where packs are being opened, and then look, he rose back up to 226. So there's big rises, but at the same time, do I think he'll have a huge rise on Thursday, like what happened after the market crash last week? If you guys saw that at all, after last week, the market fluctuation was absolutely crazy. On the Thursday, cards went up like 30 to 40% higher than they were before, but here you can see you gain like 20k maybe on the card. But definitely, if he gets below that 200 mark, make sure that you buy him, because he's going to be an upgraded card. You have to understand that cards now in the game, people are upgrading them all the time. So like Rodrigo, for example, he was a striker that I was selling for 35k a few weeks ago, and now he goes for 10k. There is a big change going on where people are upgrading their teams, and that means that you really have to watch those low rated cards, especially because, like I said, Rodrigo just a couple weeks ago, I was selling him for 33k when I bought him for 25, and now he's only 10k. These low-rated cards are now not really cutting it into people's teams, so that means that they're going to go to the next tier, which is like your Werners, your Pogbas, your Contes, those really mid-tier players that might be a bit more expensive, like Son, for example, as well. And if we look at some of those players, for example, Werner, you can see that he keeps on rebounding. So expect him to rebound a lot on Thursday. But for example, like I said earlier, Klosterman, I bought him a while ago and never really sold. You can see how low he got. He got to 4.5, and he's just not going to really... He's back up to 6.5, but he's not really going to go anywhere. He's just going to stay low. If we look at Conte, for example, this is another great meta card. Look at this. Here we go. We're on to the Friday right here. Drops right off. Then the servers are down, and actually that was not that much of a drop during the pack opening, but he went straight back up to 345 after being literally 300k. So he gained about 40k there in, I don't know how much time that is, in about 5 hours he went up 40k. So if you can, make sure that you buy at those down times. Obviously, you might not be able to get cards at the same price that they were from the two market crashes, because now cards are going to start rising. But if you look tonight during squad battle rewards, you might be able to get a decent card at this level. Once again, he rose back up to about 335 after taking another dip yesterday. And actually, that's another weird kind of time to dip. But yeah, he went back up and then back down to 307, back down to 3, and currently he is 314. So if you see him go to about 300k tonight, make sure that you buy him, because if you literally buy two at 300k, He could probably go up to 325, 330 by Thursday. I don't know how much cards are going to rise. I don't think it will be as crazy as the last one, because basically what happened on the Thursday was kind of a market correction of we were buying cards way too high and inflated before, then they absolutely crashed way down, and then they were too low, so then people started to buy them back up. And I think that's the point where we're at now, where people sold on the rule breakers, and now they're looking to make some coins, so they want to buy them back up. Hopefully they'll rise a bit. Like I said, maybe he'll rise that much. He might rise 40k, but he might not at the same time, depending on what happens in the next week. But that is just a prime example of why these meta cards are so good right now. Another example can be Kevin De Bruyne. If we look here, this is literally the Rulebreakers Market Crash. Look at how much of a dip that is right there. Then if we look again today, right here, 256 at 2 a.m. here, which is about 7 a.m. UK. That is insane. Actually, to keep in mind, guys, the time has changed for NA in UK. So now instead of being 1 p.m. here and 6 p.m. UK, it's actually 2 p.m. NA and then, or 2 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. UK. So there is only a 4-hour difference now. So this actually would have been 6 a.m. UK, and he was only 256. Then right after that, he went up to 286. He gained 30k in literally 2 hours. In 2 hours, he gained 30k. And then once again, he's back down. So if you once again see him during, because you guys have to remember, there's going to be a sell-off today, because it's the second last day of Weekend League, or it could be the last. I think EA have extended it, but I'm not sure. The sell-off's going to happen today, as well as Squad Battle Rewards, which is going to make cards drop maybe 5%, at least these meta ones. So you have to make sure that you watch out for that. And right after, overnight, if you can flip it, you can get that easy 30k profit on a card. So that's pretty much what you guys have to look at in terms of fluctuations on the market. Another thing that you really want to look at in terms of cards on the market right now are just the popular cards on FUTBin. So if you go to players and then you go to popular right here on futbin.com, this is where you find those players that are really meta right now, what people are using. And if you guys look here, Harry Kane is number 1. If we look at Harry Kane's card here, it says it's 1.496 million for the lowest bid of this card. Is it actually worth 1.5 million? Because you can get icons that are pretty decent for that price. If we look at his stats, probably not. But keep in mind, this is absolutely insane. Like 91 pace, 87 shooting, 85 passing. But it just shows you how in demand this card is. Another card that is being used a lot right now is Son. We have Bale, Rashford, other Rashford. And if you guys look at the prices of all these cards, they are pretty much above 30k now. Like if you look at all the top cards here, I think you have to scroll a long way down. Yeah, you have to go all the way down to Rodrigo, who is number 24 for 10k. So this is another reason why I was explaining on how people are not using those really cheap meta cards anymore. Sissoko there as well is only about 15k, but you have to go outside of the top 20. Now in the top 20, you have all these nice Rule Breakers cards here that are being used, and in the top 10 you have a lot of meta golds as well as like Martial. And you also have Robin here, which I guess a lot of people are using him for some reason, but that is very interesting to look at. So keep your eyes out, because I think especially this Kane is going to drop tonight during Squad Battle Rewards, because people are going to pack the card. But also it's way overvalued in my opinion. I don't even know if that card should be over $1 million. But I guess people will do what they want to do and they'll buy that card. But that's absolutely insane to see at that price. Then you have other meta cards like Llorente, who is very solid center mid normally, but getting a special card like that just boosts his value so much. But I really think that some of these cards are really overpriced, including like this Laporte. How is he 500k? It's a solid card. It has 80 plus pace, 84 and 84, but I've heard that he's not that great. How is he that priced? This Costa card actually looks really insane and beastly. I honestly think that is a very nice card, maybe even for the value. But other than that, like, are these Rule Breaker cards really worth it? And that's, I think, something that you guys should look at on the market tonight. If you can find any of these cards that are more meta, and let's say this Llorente drops a lot, he's going to have a lot of hype around him still going into Weekend League on Thursday. So if you can pick him up tonight for, like, I don't know, why don't we look at his card? What has he been going for recently? He's just been steadily climbing the last few days. So if we look at his hourly here, what was his low? At least on Xbox, it was 308. But here, okay, 313, 287 on PlayStation. And you can just see he's slowly going down, but I'm sure if you can pick him up tonight, probably on PlayStation for maybe even look at like 250 if people start selling them off quite a bit. And if you're on Xbox, maybe 275, that's when you can get those cards, put them in your club, and then wait till Thursday and probably flip them for like 30 to 50k more, especially because these cards have a lot of hype around them. And this card looks generally decent as well. Now on to the final part of the video. I just want to show you some of the stuff that I've been selling recently, exactly why I've been selling it, and certain things like that. So some of these guys were in my team and I took a big loss on them. Like for example, Havertz, I bought him for about 125k and had to sell him for 78. He didn't really fit my team anymore. Same as Sane, I bought for 125, but these were all in the beginning of the game, and that's when everyone was not expecting the market crash last weekend and took a lot of losses. But some big cards that I've gotten in the last few weeks, example is the Sissoko. I bought a few of these guys during Squad Battle Rewards on stream last week. I was doing Sunday night bidding, and I got one of them for 6k, and he was actually going for 20k at the time, so I sold some other Sissokos before this for 20k. This one sold for 18,250, and the lowest, I think, the most I paid for a card was 17,250. So even if it was this card, I still made like 500 coins, let's say. But on the most, or on the biggest cards, I made about 20 to 30k because I added a hunter onto one of them as well to make sure I got even more profit. So I made 20 to 30k on one of them. On the other ones I made about 5k, and this one I didn't probably make too much. But if we just go on, for example, here we also have Ricardo Pereira that I bought for like 10, 11k that I'd flip for 13,500. He was a bit higher as well during that point. And there's just other cards that you can look at, like Hummels, for example. Once again, I bought him at 10k, just flipped him for 13,750, because you just have to look for those kind of mid-tier cards, and also the SBC fodder. Especially the SBC fodder on Squad Battle Rewards days are very, very cheap. You can pick them up and just wait for a good SBC that everyone wants to do, and bang, you sell all your 86s or your 85s. And I would also recommend maybe after, or maybe during tonight, during the Sunday night bidding, I would recommend maybe you should go and just bid on some SBC cards, whether it's 83s, 84s, 85s, or 86s. A club stock might be good now because cards just seem like they're going to be rising in price, and the low tier cards seem to be like they're at maybe their lowest because like they're barely going for anything at the moment. So I would try and look at like 83s, 84s, 85s, 86s, maybe do a club stock of some of them, or maybe do a club stock of all of them if you really want to, because we're going to be going into Black Friday in a couple weeks. You're going to be needing 83 rated squads for the Team of the Week packs, or for the one to watch packs. I don't know if they have one to watch packs during them, but I think they do. Team of the Week, one to watch, and then after that it's going to be FUT soon enough. So just keep in mind that's when the SBC fodder is used the most. Also, if icon SBCs drop, you're going to make a lot of coins. You are having 83s, 84s, 85s, 86s, even 87s and 88s in your club. It will very, very much help. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the advice in this video, and I'll sign off. If you guys like the trading advice in this video, make sure that you check out the playlist down below, or the video that is also recommended. Make sure that you also go follow me on my Twitch, since I will be streaming Weekend League tonight and tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the next one.